Hello, I'm Judah Kelly, and this is my sleep outreach project that I did. So I did it at my hometown church at Cypress Bible Church since I had worked at the Vacation Bible School there, and I also volunteered just at regular Sunday service. So I just thought that that would be a really good place to uh, get my knowledge that I've learned in this class to teach the kids about. So I decided to just connect it with biblical themes. And the first way I did that was I did a little introductory lesson before I got into the new knowledge that they would learn about sleep. I went through the creation story and how God created the heavens, the earth, and everything on the earth, and then within the first 6 days, and then how He rested on the seventh day. And I connected to how that shows that rest is important for all of us, and rest is important for animals as well. So that connects the rest to the sleep. And then I went through um, plenty of information about how different animals sleep. So I went and taught them about how specific animals sleep and the different methods that they have. Specifically, I talked about spiders and how they show REM sleep. I talked about sperm whales and how they sleep vertically in pods. I talked about dolphins and how they have unihemispheric sleep. I also taught them about um, hibernation and how that's not even like how that's not really true sleep, and they all found that to be very interesting. And one of the ways I did this was I brought a PowerPoint, and that's how I taught them. And with the PowerPoint, I did a sort of true-false game where all the kids would raise their hands if they thought it was true, or they would raise their hands if they thought it was false. They would also do guessing games as I would describe an animal and a method that they sleep. As in, I would say this animal can sleep standing up. Some would guess a horse, some would guess a cow. Obviously, they both be correct. Um, and there were other things that I put in there, and plenty more animals that I taught them about. In total, there were 27 kids there, and there were 7 adults, and the adults were the small group leaders there. So 34 people total. Of the 27 kids, I would say probably around 15 of them asked questions during the presentation, and 3 of the adults actually asked questions during the presentation or after the presentation. And questions and answers normally lasted around 10 to 30 seconds each. Some of the questions were a little unrelated to what I was teaching up, but the kids were just really excited to be there and listen to a new lesson. My last resource, I decided to do a little crossword puzzle. I didn't want to make it too complicated for the kids, as many of them were only 7, 8 years old. I was originally going to do a flip book that they would be able to make on their own. However, the logistics of that just didn't really work out, and many of them, and talking over with some of the other people there, thought that they just wouldn't really do the flip book, and it would just be a wasted opportunity. Plenty of the kids took the crossword puzzle home, but some did it after the lesson, and I was able to talk with them and teach them a little bit more about sleep as they worked through the crossword puzzle on their own, and I got to teach them a little bit more. So lessons learned. I do think that I could have done a more creative, lasting resource. I did want to do the flip book, but it just wasn't it just wouldn't have worked out. And in all honesty, the crossword was a bit of a cop out, as it was just an easy thing to do. But the kids still very much enjoyed it, and they were able to practice their learning and put down what they learned during the lesson. I also learned that learning is really driven by interaction and mutual interest. If you're just talking at a crowd, they're not really going to be interested. But if you're going back and forth with questions, it makes it a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. Best moments. One of the kids at the very end of the lesson came up and gave me a hug, thanking me for teeth in the lesson, which was a really cool moment, and it just made me feel that everything was really worth it, as the project was stressing me out for no reason, but it really made me happy that I was able to do that. And plenty of others told me thank you, and a lot of the adult leaders also said that I had done a good job, which was always appreciated because I really love working with kids. And that's all. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching.